Judas knew what he was doing when he left the table. He knew that the temptation of money was one that was very strong for him. In other words, if there was a temptation around to take some money or to make a little extra cash on the side, that was Judas's sore point. That was his real difficulty. He couldn't deal with that kind of temptation, at least not well. So he made a choice. Did he know that it was going to lead to Jesus' death? We have no way of knowing. We know that even when Jesus was before Pilate, Pilate was trying to say, there's no capital crime against this man. There's no reason to put him to death. So would it be possible that Judas just thought they were either just going to take him up and rough him up a little bit, or that he was going to slip away from them as he had slipped away from them before? I don't know. But we do know that Judas fully and freely made a decision to do something that was wrong, and to point out Jesus to the guards that were sent. The guards that were sent didn't know Jesus, apparently. They couldn't have picked him out from the little crowd that was in the garden. And so it took that kiss from Judas to identify which one of his people was Jesus. So it had to be a purposeful act. In Judas' mind, was it a big thing at that point? I don't know. But it does say something to us, doesn't it? It talks about temptation, and each and every one of us in our lives have ways in which we're tempted to do what is not right. And it also reminds us that sometimes even the smallest acts that don't seem to amount to that much can have terrible consequences. Did Judas expect the consequences of Jesus being nailed to a cross? I suspect that he didn't. And I suspect that's why he fell into such utter despair after he saw what his action had done. We very often talk about little sins as opposed to big sins. But all actions have consequences, don't they? And so it's important for us to even look at the potential consequences of even the little things that we do. The little ways in which we take something that doesn't belong to us. The little ways in which we hurt someone through our words or through our actions, through our gossip. The little ways in which we compromise our values, and particularly compromise our faith commitments, that they can have unintended consequences. And these little things can end up leading to things that are big and even devastating. You can see during Holy Week that things are leading up now to the crucifixion and death of the Lord, that all of the things are in place. And could any number of choices by people, people who were willing to stand up and say, no, I will not sin, no, I will not betray. Any number of those things might have changed things. But sin is a very powerful force in our lives. We see that in the apostles. We see that in Peter. We see that certainly in Judas. And it's a difficult and yet important reminder for each and every one of us in our daily lives.